Hey everybody, Derek Christensen here. I'm an estate planning attorney who owns Legion Law, a premier estate planning and probate law firm in Dallas, Texas. Today I wanted to talk to you about why joint wills and joint estate plans really are not feasible, let alone a very terrible idea. But before I dive into that, I wanted to let you know how to reach out to me. You can find me at my website, www.legionlawpllc.com, or you can go to my email and email me directly any questions or concerns, Derek, D-E-R-E-K, at legionlawpllc.com. So with that, let's talk about why joint wills are a terrible idea. And joint wills really are actually, I guess I should define them at first. A joint will is where you say, my wife and I, we both are signing this will together. We both promise that we are going to do this when this happens and that when that happens, and this is how we're going to split everything up. Normally, out of every single person I've ever seen ever, you always want to have separate wills. Never ever joint, because at the end of the day, joint wills are actually a contract. They are not a means to dispose of your estate. So in other words, your joint will, quote unquote, is actually a contract between you and your wife, and you're promising each other that you're going to do whatever the will says. But if one of them if you deviate from that joint will and you decide, you know what, no, I'm not going to give everything the exact way that I said I would in that joint will, then you breach the contract, and it's really just contract law at that point. The contract law will say, hey, we're still going to let some stuff happen, but you get like compensation as monetary damage to the deceased person's estate, rather than like making them do the actual content of the will. So it gets really, really confusing very quick, because it's not a document that can force the distribution of assets. It is a contract that you will do that whenever you get access to those assets once somebody passes away. So my recommendation, do not do it. Do not do it whatsoever. Don't even think about it, because I had a potential client who talked to me and I said, oh, I charge just a little bit more if, it's easy to do 80% of the work with one client, and then the last 20%, I'll just charge you another 20% or whatever. For the couple. So I charge a little bit more than normal for a couple versus a single person. And they're like, oh, well, let's just do a joint plan and we'll just have it all be on one. And that's just simply, like I said, just not possible. So don't do it for wills, especially. Technically speaking, you could try to pull it off with other documents, but again, I have never seen that ever, whether that's a financial power of attorney, medical power of attorney. Just simply put, you want to make sure that every single, if it's the two of you, you want to make sure you have two of each document, two financial powers of attorney, two medical powers of attorney, two HIPAA release forms, whatever, because you want to make sure it's extremely clear. This is not a contract. This is a binding estate plan document. It cannot be ignored. It can't be, you can't just pay a lump sum of cash if you fail to do it. You're in big trouble if you don't do what my will says, kind of thing. So my strong recommendation, don't do it. And I don't even think it's really an option. Maybe you could download it off the internet. That'd be interesting to see if you could. But either way, internet estate plans are horrendous either way. So it's all good either way. So that being said, again, don't do it. Talk with an attorney. Make sure that you and your spouse and anyone else you care about each have their own individual documents that are binding, because again, a will is different than a contract. And if you get into contract law, it's treated completely different. So if you have any questions on that or any other questions about estate planning and probate, feel free to shoot me a question via email. You can email me directly, Derek, D-E-R-E-K, at legionlawpllc.com, or you can find me at my website, where you go to our Contact Us page and schedule a over-the-phone free consultation directly onto my calendar at www.legionlawpllc.com. So with that, have a great day.